Thank you very much. It's an honor to be with you today. We just celebrated Women's Day at the White House. It was fantastic, attended by a lot of great women, All women are great. So this is the beginning of Liberation Day in America. We're going to take back just some of the money that has been taken from us by people sitting behind this desk or another desk that's not quite as nice, but they have their choice of 7, as you know. And we're going to charge countries for doing business in our country and taking our jobs, taking our wealth, taking a lot of things that they've been taking over the years. They've taken so much out of our country, friend and foe, and frankly, friend has been oftentimes much worse than foe. And this is very modest. And what we're going to be doing is a 25% tariff on all cars that are not made in the United States. If they're made in the United States, there's absolutely no tariff. We start off with a 2.5% base, which is what we were at, and we go to 25%. And basically, as you know, and as you've been seeing, not reporting as accurately as it should be reported because it's a massive story. Business is coming back to the United States so that they don't have to pay tariffs. And I think also because of November 5th, the election, they're very happy. AI is coming back to levels that nobody's ever seen before. It's a new, sort of a new business, I guess, when you think about it. But it's plants are going up all over the United States, and many of them have already been started. We're getting early electricity taken care of. We're getting permits very quickly for them, and we're going to make their life very happy. They're coming in with tens of billions of dollars. Individual plants will cost 10, 15, even $20 billion. We're going to let them build electricity generating plants along with their plant, and they can't even believe it. And we're going to get them very quick permits, as I've done always. I did that in Louisiana with 2 LNG plants. I got them one permit in 1 day after waiting 14 years, and the other one in 1 week after waiting for 12 years. But this is very exciting to me. This is the automobile industry, and this will continue to spur growth like you haven't seen. Before I was elected, we were losing all of our plants. They were being built in Mexico and Canada and other places. Now those plants largely have stopped, and they're moving them to our country. In Indiana, the great state of Indiana, I love Indiana. Honda is building one of the biggest plants anywhere, and they've just started. They wouldn't have done it without this. In all cases, they wouldn't have done it without what we're doing. So we'll effectively be charging a 25% tariff. But if you build your car in the United States, there is no tariff. And what that means is a lot of foreign car companies, a lot of companies are going to be in great shape because they've already built their plant. But their plants are underutilized, so they'll be able to expand them inexpensively and quickly. But others will come into our country and build, and they're already looking for sites. They're looking for mostly sites. They don't want to take the old buildings that are empty and falling down. They want to build new, and there's tremendous action. There is likewise for other companies and countries like the chip-making process. Your chip bill was a disaster done by Biden. All he does is give tremendous amounts of billions of dollars to chip companies that will do nothing with the money. They're not going to use the money here. They're going to just keep it. They have plenty of money. The one thing they have is they have a lot of money. In our case, all we're doing is saying you can't come in unless you build here. And the largest chip company by far is manufacturer from Taiwan is building here, and it'll give us almost 40% of the chip market just with that. They're spending almost $200 billion in the United States to build a plant, and they've almost started. They'll be doing much of the work in Arizona. So we have a lot of exciting things, but to me, this is one of the most exciting. Now, outside of one specific day, and that's Liberation Day. That's the real Liberation Day of America, and that's going to be in April 2nd, and I look forward to it. We'll have a little news conference. We'll talk about it, but this is very exciting. So we're signing a executive order today that's going to lead to tremendous growth in the automobile industry. As you know, the electric mandate that we did allows you to buy a car now, electric or gasoline-powered or hybrid. You can buy any car you want We had it so that within a short period of time, you had to buy all electric, and the country could never provide the money necessary to build all of those power plants that you would need all over the country. As you know, in the Middle West, they built 8 power stations. That's like the size of this desk or smaller. And they ended up spending $9 billion on 8. And of the 8, 4 of them didn't work. And we're not doing that. So you can buy electric, or you can buy gasoline, or you can buy hybrid, or you can buy whatever you want to buy. And that's the way it should be. The market's going to determine that. And you're going to see prices going down, but it's going to go down specifically because they're going to buy what we're doing, incentivizing companies to, and even countries, but companies to come into America and build. And we're already setting records for new plants. I think the new plant number, the tally is just within a period of a few weeks. It's very large. I want to be accurate. It's very large. And I'd like to ask Will just to come and give some of the basics, and then I'll sign it, and it's off to the races. I think our automobile business will flourish like it's never flourished before. Yes, please, Will.
Thank you, sir. As you stated, we've prepared for your attention a proclamation imposing a 25% tariff on foreign-made cars and light trucks. This is in addition to tariffs that are already in place on those goods. In addition to, as you said, spurring increased domestic manufacture of cars and trucks, we expect that these tariffs will result in over $100 billion of new annual revenue to the United States of America in tariff revenue.
I think ultimately we could probably anywhere from $600 billion to $1 trillion will be taken in over the relatively short-term period, meaning a year from now, but starting right away. I think we'll go from 600 to 1 trillion within 2 years. And I think we'll be right from the beginning, we're going to be at a very high number, right from the beginning. And right from the beginning, you're going to have a lot of construction jobs, but you're also going to have a lot of automobile jobs. So this is very exciting, but it's also exciting because of what's happening with other aspects. We're going to be doing tariffs on pharmaceuticals in order to bring our pharmaceutical industry back. We don't make anything here in terms of drugs, medical drugs, different types of drugs that you need, medicines. It's in other countries, largely made in China, a lot of it made in Ireland. Ireland was very smart. We love Ireland. But we're going to have that. We're going to have lumber. We're going to free up some of our land. And you'll be able to meet a lot of other standards like fire cuts. If Los Angeles had fire cuts, which they didn't have, that's a gap of half a football field between areas. You wouldn't have had the fires. They would have been contained. But you have fire cuts. And by the way, you sell that wood for a lot of money, a lot of profit is made from that. But we're going to be doing lumber. We're freeing up our land so that we don't have to use outside sources of lumber. Energy, we're doing fantastically well at. You know, the energy prices have been coming down rapidly as we increase supply, and we've already done that. We have Chris and Doug are doing a fantastic job in that. That's Department of Energy and Department of Interior. And they're working together hand in hand because Interior has the land and Energy has the ability to do the drilling and do what they have to do. Our coal areas are going to be opened up for clean, beautiful coal. Germany's opening up many coal plants now. You know, they tried the wind and it didn't work. They almost went out of business. They almost went bankrupt. They tried wind, which is a disaster because it's too expensive and it doesn't look good, kills all the birds, a lot of problems. But Germany is now building a lot of coal plants. China is building one a week. Think of that. And they're using coal, which is very powerful. Coal is a very powerful energy. And we're opening up our coal mines again, and we're going to do, I call it beautiful, clean coal. The technology is so good now that coal can give you tremendous power at the same time. It can be very clean. But we're also obviously doing oil and gas and various other things. You can do pretty much whatever you want. We don't like the wind because we think it ruins the landscapes, the plains, ruins them. And it's got a lot of problems. It's also by far the most expensive energy. It looks horrible in the oceans. It's dangerous in the oceans in terms of navigation. And if you look at what's happening with whales, you know, in one area, they lost 2 whales, like in 20 years, washed ashore. And this year they had 17 wash ashore. So there's something happened out there. There's something driving the whales a little bit loco, but they lost 2 in 20 years. And now they lost 17 in a short period of time. So it's something wrong out there. So this is very exciting. This is going to lead to the construction of a lot of plants, and in this case, auto plants. And you're going to see numbers like you haven't seen, both in terms of employment. It takes a little while. You're going to have great construction numbers initially, and then ultimately you're going to have a lot of people making a lot of cars. And one other thing, we have the Speaker of the House with us, who's doing a fantastic job. And where's Mike? And we're trying to get approved. Mike, thank you very much for being here. We're trying to get approved, if we can. If you borrow money to buy a car, you're allowed to deduct interest payments for purposes of income tax, but only if the car is made in America. So if the car is made in America, you get a loan, you can deduct the interest. That's a big saving. A lot of people in that part of the world, in terms of buying cars, a lot of them don't think in terms of deductions. People that think in terms of deductions are very wealthy people. But people are going to start understanding what a good deduction is all about. So when you get a loan to buy a car, and I think it's going to pay for itself. I don't think there's any cost. I think you're going to have so many cars built. But you're only going to get that deduction of interest if the car is made in the United States of America. So I'm going to sign this. And Mike, I hope you can get that, because I think it's going to be amazing in terms of the number of cars that are going to be made because of it. And I want to thank Howard Lutnick, our fabulous Commerce chairman. That's what he is. He's a chairman. He's a very successful guy, a great guy. And we have a big day, Howard, coming up next week. It's going to be good. That's Liberation Day. That's going to be on the 2nd, and that's going to be reciprocal. And I think people will be impressed. We're going to be very fair. We're going to be very nice, actually. We have not been treated nicely by other countries, but we're going to be nice. So I think people will be pleasantly surprised, but it's going to make our country very rich, because we're the piggy bank that everybody steals from, and they've been doing it
Please
for
tap the like button. This will share
years,
it out
for
to more
decades, and
people.
We're not going to let it happen.
It makes a big difference, and consider subscribing. Thank you.
Nicely. We're going to treat other countries very, very nicely, and I think it's going to have a very positive effect on everybody, including those other countries. So I'll sign this, and we will see you again on April the 2nd. In terms of this, it's going to be another round, and it's about making America great again, making it strong and prosperous again. Thank you very much.
Sir, will this reflect on the Corvette?
Can I ask you about tariffs, Mr. President? On the car tariffs, how do you assure that a car coming into the country is fully built? Could an automaker in Germany say, leave the tires off a car?
Yeah, we're going to have very strong policing, and it's pretty easy to do. If parts
We've
are
got
made
260
in America,
watching. If you could tap
and a
the like
car
button,
isn't,
it will share
those
it out
parts
to
are
more
not gonna be
people.
taxed or
We've
tariffed.
got just
And we'll
37
have very
likes at the
strong
moment.
policing
Please
as
do
far as
tap the
that's
like.
concerned.
Thank you so
For the
much.
most part,
We'll
I
open
think
up
it's
the
gonna
phone
leave
lines in a
cars to be
moment.
made
You can
in
all
one
call in and have your
location.
say.
Right now,
Is this good or
a
bad
car would be made
for
here,
the
sent
US
to
economy
Canada,
and the
sent to
stock market?
Mexico, sent all over the place. It's ridiculous. So this is a very simple system. And the beauty of the 25, it's one number. It's not up or down depending on the cost of the car. It's one number. And that number is going to be used to reduce debt greatly in the United States and to build things, reduce taxes. I mean, basically, I view it as reducing taxes and also reducing debt. And within a fairly short period of time, I think we're going to have a balance sheet that's going to be outstanding. Yeah.
How do you assure Americans then that this will not cause a long-term increase in prices?
Well, look, I think we're going to have a market the likes of which nobody's ever seen before, not in this country. You know, we had the best market ever in my first term. It was the strongest market ever, the best economy ever. And I think I think this blows it away. But this is
Live
something
video
that
phone in
people
is in
have
the
wanted to do,
chat.
presidents have
Pin
wanted
at the
to
top.
do
You
for
can
a
now
long
call
time. A
in.
lot of them didn't
Live
understand
debate at
it.
the
It
end of
wasn't
this.
a
Everyone can have their
priority for
say.
them. But foreign
Members
countries
only,
understood it
call
very
in.
well. And they've really ripped us off at levels that nobody's seen before. But that's not going to happen.
Mr. President, is this for today or April 2nd the auto tariffs, sir?
Say it.
Do these auto tariffs go into effect today or on April 2nd?
They go into effect on April 2nd. We're signing today. It goes into effect April 2nd. We start collecting on April 3rd.
Mr. President, do you have any more sectoral tariffs that are coming in on April 2nd?
What does that mean?
Any more tariffs on any other sectors on April 2nd, for example, chips or pharmaceuticals?
Not then, but we will be putting a tariff on lumber. We, as you know, have a tariff already on steel and on aluminum of 25%, and we're taking in tremendous amounts of dollars. More importantly, our steel factories and aluminum factories are roaring. They're starting to roar. They're building new ones. I just heard from Nucor, which is a big company, a very big steel company, and they're building a massive plant for steel that they wouldn't build without this. So you're going to see things that are going to be actually amazing. And I think you already have. You know, we've had some news conferences where I can't have enough. They want to do news conferences where they announce they're going to spend $20, $30, $40 billion. But Apple, as an example, is spending $500 billion. Okay, any other?
On the signal chat, Senator Roger Wicker.
Hold on one second.
Yes.
Mr.
Go
President,
ahead.
reciprocal tariffs next week. Will those be immediately effective April 2nd on all countries, or will you focus on the worst offenders?
No, we're going to make it all countries, and we're going to make it very lenient. I think people are going to be very surprised. It'll be, in many cases, less than the tariff that they've been charging us for decades. So I think people are going to be very, very surprised.
Why is
on
that?
these auto tariffs?
I think they'll be pleasantly surprised. I don't know. I think we're trying to keep it somewhat conservative.
And on these auto tariffs, we saw obviously the NASDAQ 100 go down 2% at close, S&P 500 down 1%. What are you concerned
Is that
about
today?
that market reaction?
Today?
Yes, sir.
I didn't say that. I want to see the jobs. I want to see that'll all take care of itself. That could take care of itself in 1 day, 2 days, or 1 week.
Are there any conditions under which you'd remove these auto tariffs, sir, or is this permanent for the rest of your term in office?
Oh, this is permanent. Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Are you on the auto tariffs? Did Elon Musk advise you at all on these auto tariffs?
No, because he may have a conflict, so we don't talk. I've never talked to him. Elon's amazing. He's never asked me for a favor in business whatsoever. I'm actually a little surprised by it. I might do it. I might not do it. I do what's right, and he'd want me to do what's right. No, he's a patriot. He has never, you know, these are big deals we're talking about. This is probably nothing like this. And I've never had Elon come and say, would you do me a favor with the mandate?
You can start calling in. The phone line is open.
He's never
Live
asked me for
debate at
anything.
the end of this.
What's the response to Republican lawmakers who have said today that your administration should take more accountability and not downplay what's happened with Signal that we've seen in these messages today?
Well, I don't know about downplaying. The press upplays it. I think it's all a witch hunt. That's all. I think it's a witch hunt. I wasn't involved with it. I wasn't there, but I can tell you the result is unbelievable because the Houthis are looking to do something. They want to know, how do we stop? How do we stop? Can we have peace? The Houthis want peace because they're getting the hell knocked out of them. It's been very, very strong. The Houthis are dying for peace. They don't want this. And they're bad. Look, they were knocking ships out of the ocean. You know, we had in the Suez Canal, they only have about 20% of the ships going through. They have to go through a different way, which takes weeks of travel. And that really affects commerce. But the Houthis have been hit hard, and they want to negotiate peace. But I don't think they're quite. I don't think they're quite ready.
Classified that was shared?
Say it.
Do you still believe nothing classified was shared?
Well, that's what I've heard. I don't know. I'm not sure. You'll have to ask the various people involved. I really don't know. I can only tell you this. You know, you don't want to talk about it. The Houthis have been horrible to the world. What they've done, killed a lot of people. And
If you're calling in, let me know you're in the chat.
Else. You know, it's not just the ships. And they have been hit. They have been hit harder than they've ever been hit. And they want us to stop so badly. And they've got to stop. They've got to say no mas. But I can only say that the attacks, it's attacks every day, every night. It's not just the one. You're talking about one. The attacks have been very successful, even beyond our wildest expectations. We've hit them very hard, very successfly. And we're going to do it for a long time. We're going to keep it going for a long time.
Senate Republicans have said that they have formally asked the administration for an Inspector General report on the signal issue, will you agree to that?
It doesn't bother me. I don't know. I want to find if there's any mistake or if a signal doesn't work. It could be that signal's not very good. It's a company. Maybe it's not very good. I think we'd rather know about it now. There was no harm done because the attack was unbelievably successful that night, and it has been unbelievably successful every single night for the last 4 or 5 nights. So, and that's the thing that you should be talking about. This is something that should have been done by sleepy Joe Biden, but he was asleep at the wheel other than when it came to stealing money, of course. Joe Biden should have done this attack on Yemen, which is basically a certain group with Houthis, and this should have been done by
iPhone in coming up
Joe
in
Biden,
a few seconds.
and it wasn't. And that's caused this world a lot of damage and a lot of problems.
He's responsible, but he's also overseeing the investigation to find out what went wrong. Maybe
Who's responsible?
Mike Waltz says that he's responsible.
Well, yeah, Mike Waltz, I guess he said he claimed responsibility, I would imagine. Had nothing to do with anyone else. It was Mike, I guess. I don't know. I was told it was Mike. But again, the attacks were unbelievably successul, and that's ultimately what you should be talking about, I think. Mike he took responsibility for it.
Should his position over this, Mr.
Say it?
Should Secretary Hegseth consider his position over the signal?
Hegseth is doing a great job. He had nothing to do with this. Hegseth. How do you bring Hegseth into it? He had nothing to do. Look, it's all a witch hunt. Here we are talking about some of the greatest business deals ever made. The greatest companies in the world are moving into the United States, and you want to ask about whether or not Signal works. I don't know that Signal works. I think Signal could be defective, to be honest with you. And I think that's what we have to, because you use Signal, and we use Signal, and everybody uses Signal, but it could be a defective platform, and we're going to have to find that out.
Mr. President, have you been briefed about soldiers in Lithuania?
Say it?
Have you been briefed about the soldiers in Lithuania who are missing?
No, I haven't.
Mr. President, have you spoken, sir, with the big 3 automakers about these tariffs? What was their reaction?
I have.
What was their reaction?
It depends on whether or not they have factories here. I can tell you, if they have factories here, they're thrilled. If you don't have factories here, they're going to have to get going and build them, because otherwise they have to pay tariffs. Very simple. And most of those have pretty big factories here, like General Motors has big factories here. They're going to move their parts divisions back to the United States, because some of them were made in Canada and some of them were made in Mexico and other places. They'll be moving their parts division back to the United States in factories where they may be at 60% capacity, so they don't even really have to build too much of a factory. But, generally speaking, if they have factories here, plants here, where they make their cars and equipment, but they make their cars here, they are thrilled. Same thing with the steel industry. Steel industry is now paying a 25% tariff, as you know, I put it on last week, and the business is roaring in the United States. And we can't, because of military, we can't lose the steel industry. If I didn't put the initial tariffs on steel in my first term, you wouldn't be able to have a military, because we wouldn't have. Every steel company would be bankrupt in the United States, and every plant would be closed. But now they're booming, and putting this tariff on, this additional tariff for steel and aluminum, it's making them thrive, and it's already happened.
Mr. President, coming up on the deadline for the TikTok sale, will you extend that deadline if you don't have a deal? Do you support Oracle?
Well, we will have a form of a deal. TikTok is very popular, very successful, very good. We're going to have a form of a deal, but if it's not finished, it's not a big deal. We'll just extend it. I have the right to have the deal and to extend it if I want. So we'll see whether or not we have a deal. We have a lot of interest in TikTok.
Is there a way for a U.S. company to operate it and ByteDance to still have a share of the algorithm?
Well, there are numerous ways you can buy TikTok, and we will find the one that's best for the country, for our country. I'm worried about our country more than anything else with respect to TikTok. And China is going to have to play a role in that, possibly, in the form of an approval, maybe. And I think they'll do that. Maybe I'll give them a little reduction in tariffs or something to get it done, because every point in tariff is worth more money than TikTok, if you think. Every point. Tariff is a much bigger world, and TikTok is big. But every point in tariffs is worth more than TikTok. So in order to get China to do, maybe I'd give them a reduction in tariffs, as an example. Sounds like something I do.
Do you think these tariffs are going to be good for Tesla, sir?
Good for who?
Tesla, which makes it
Well, he is a fantastic Tesla. Will tariffs be good? I think they may, it could be a net neutral or they may be good. He has a big plant in Texas. He has a big plant in California. And anybody that has plants in the United States, it's going to be good for, in my opinion.
Mr. President, the European
You want
Union
to
has ruled
return
against.
education control to the states. How would you handle it if a state like California were to put in place education policy?
You know, I haven't seen a mask in so long. You're wearing a mask. So nice of you. I haven't seen anybody wearing a mask in a long time. It's good. You feel more comfortable, right?
Yes.
Good. That's good. So go ahead.
You said you want to return education control to the states. How would you handle it if a state like California were to put in place education policies you disagree with?
Well, I think that California is going to be tougher because they're doing badly on everything they do. You know, everything they touch turns bad. So a place like California would be tougher for education. But what I would see
Here
with
comes the
California
COVID
is you'd have a
robot.
Los Angeles department, and you'd have Riverside. You'd have, you'd go to various places. And I think you'd have
Watch
some
out,
great
here comes
areas in
COVID.
California, and then you'd have some like everything else. It doesn't work so well. But ultimately, I think it would be very successful. I think in New York, as an example, you'd go to Long Island, Westchester, you may have Nassau County, Queens County.
Tesla
You'd
rebounding.
break it up in certain ways so they'd have maybe 5 departments, because of the size, they'd have 5 departments instead of 1. A state like Iowa, you'd have 1. And, I mean, they're just chomping at the bit
Tesla
to
rebounding.
get going. So many states are chomping at the bit to get education, and it's going to happen fast to get the education.
Just bear with me.
We've been listening to President Trump from the Oval Office, fielding a wide range of questions there. The video froze, obviously, so as soon as we get it back, we'll go back to him. But it is official. He did announce 25% tariffs on finished autos coming into the United States. Also talking about bringing manufacturing
Okay,
back to
just
the United
stand by.
States. Let's
I
get
will
to
be,
Phil about to sort of unpack what was said about the auto tariffs. Phil?
Melissa, 7.38 million vehicles were imported and sold in the United States last year. Now, I want you to imagine that if you had that same demand, you're going to put a 25% tariff on 7.38 million vehicles. Clearly, that is not going to happen. What's going to happen once these tariffs go into effect is the automakers will respond in a couple of ways. One, they're going to slow down production in foreign plants for vehicles that are imported here to the United States. They're going to also probably have to raise prices and cut incentives.
Stand by, we're waiting to get that audio back. We've got a live phone in as well. You can call in and be on the show. Tesla rebounding.
How much capacity do they have to bring production back into the United States? The president says, well, there's some places that only have 60% capacity. It's not as simple as just flipping a switch. There's tooling. There's also making sure that the plant and the supply chain can adjust and bring production from a particular plant overseas.
We've got 2 special guests. We've got Alex here, and we've got Sensei Crypto on the line. Stand by.
One executive in the industry texted me earlier, and he said,
if you want to call in, you can call in. The link's in the chat.
Auto industry, not the overall
if you are
economy,
calling in, let me know you're calling in.
Into a recession. Melissa?
So that's what we're seeing the automakers across the board fall, Phil. I mean, GM is down 5% at this hour. Ford is down something like 3%. Yep. So is Stellantis. Even though it seemed like 25% on finished coming in would have been actually viewed as not as bad as expected.
Sure, to an extent, it's not as bad as expected. It also leaves leverage for the president if he's not happy with negotiations with countries that he could ultimately hit the parts suppliers.
Okay, we're going to come off that for a moment, and if we get it back, I will bring it back to you. I'm watching closely to see, but it was all over anyway. We were at the final question, so we do have some guests on tonight. You can tune in and join me if you'd like to be on today's show. Have your say. What do you think about it? I mean, in the last few seconds, I've seen Tesla start to rebound and go up again, which is very, very nice. But In fact, it's trying to break some a resistance as well. So what we're going to do is bring in our guest today. We've got 2 guests calling in. We've got spaces for 10 people. If you'd like to call in, the link's in the chat. Just click on the link there. It's done through your browser. If you are calling in, you need to be a member. Let me know in the chat you are calling in, and I can put you on the screen. So let's bring our guests in tonight. If we do get Trump coming back to say something, I don't think there's going to be anything, but if there is, I will go straight back to it. But for now, let's bring in our guests. We have Alex and we have Sensei Crypto with us tonight. Sensei, thank you for calling in. I know it's quite late for you from the United Kingdom. Let me just make a slight adjustment to your camera just so I can line you up. There we go, just to give you the best possible reception there on the camera. Good stuff indeed. Thank you for calling in. And Alex is here as well. Thank you, Alex, for calling in. I'll just line you up a little bit as well, just to get you just about there. If you'd like to call in, folks, you can call in. So give me your views, gentlemen. You just heard the President of the United States say the 25% tariffs on all cars entering the United States. It's a big deal. Sensei, what do you think of that? Thank you for joining us, by the way.
Yeah, thank you for having me on the show. I apologise for my voice. I'm a bit unwell, but
I was like that yesterday. Hopefully, it's just a day thing. Anyway, I'm sorry to hear that.
Anyway, yeah. So it's why I've said for a while these tariffs cause uncertainty. Big investors I know are out the markets ever since Trump has come in, not because they don't think long term it's going to work out, not because they don't believe in the policies, but because they know tariffs cause uncertainty, stock market reacts badly, tariffs cause inflation, at least in the short term, and this is just another example of another tariff that's going to affect the working man in a way where tomorrow you go to buy a car and it's, I don't know, 10, 20, 25% more expensive. It will cause inflation. What's the Fed going to do? It's going to cause uncertainty. What are the benefits? Well, I think the cons outweigh the pros. You're looking at the auto workers might have a better deal now. The auto industry in America might be a bit better. However, you're causing higher prices. There's fewer options for people to buy cars, and then you're risking the worst case scenario, which is a trade war. So obviously the market's not liking it. I personally, I don't live in the US, but I'm not liking it. It's trade wars and all that sort of stuff. Uncertainty, not great for the worldwide markets. But it's good to be able to have a debate live on the show.
Absolutely. Alex, I'll come to you now. You give me your thoughts. If you'd like to call in, folks, the video link is in the chat. It's pinned to the top. I will give it to you again if you've not seen it. You need to be a member, and you also need to let me know that you are calling in. I don't even see you calling in until I look, and I don't look until you told me you are calling in the chat, so I can identify who's calling in with which member is calling in. So if you'd like to call in, click on the link and you can have your say. I'm sure there's a lot of people here with a lot of strong opinions, people that love Trump, hate Trump. Have your say. Don't just be in the chat shouting and rambling and going into Reddit rooms and all the rest of it. Call in like Sensei has done here tonight in the UK, and Alex, both in the UK. We've got nobody here calling in from America right now. I'm here in Dallas, and Sensei is absolutely right. At the moment that the paperwork is done and delivered, 25% cars increase immediately overnight. So it's going to be expensive. Now, we heard this morning Trump celebrating, you mentioned it there, that Hyundai have just opened a plant in Georgia. Let's remember, folks, that started in 2019 when Trump was last in power, and they've just opened it today. So there's going to be no immediate, everyone's going to go, well, let's just build in America then. It takes years to do that. So yes, it might be great 10 years from now, but it's not going to happen tomorrow. So all we've got right now is everybody in America is going to pay 25% more for their cars. I've got people calling in. I cannot answer anybody until you've put in the chat, I'm calling in. I don't know who you are. And I don't even see you in the phone. I just know there's people calling in. So if you are calling in, I need to know. I'm at the gym, so I can't call in. Mark, thank you for letting me know. Don't let me know you can't call in. Just let me know you are calling in. Otherwise, I mean, it's very friendly letting the world know that Mark can't call in. But anyway, John Matee, the fourth, I like that. John Matee, the fourth, is calling in. Let me put you in spot number 5, and you can have your say as well. There we go. There's John Matee, the fourth. I do like that. I do like the fact you've got a number after your name. They're very, very good indeed. So, John, welcome to you. You're live on the show. I will come to Alex first of all. Alex, good afternoon. Oh, he's gone. Alex, what do you feel about all of this?
Good afternoon, Martin and Sensei. First
Afternoon.
of all, appreciate you having us here.
Janosch Wagner has become a member.
Oh, new member. There we go. Yes. So what do you, I'll give you all your perks, Janosch, at the end of the show, explain all your perks and benefits. But what do you feel? Do you agree with Sensei? Have you got any different thoughts?
So you obviously know my opinion about Trump, right? He's not a politician. He's a businessman. He's trying to do what's best for America. Right now, it seems really terrible. But I want to share something as a historical moment, let's say, for example. Greece had factories and stuff, right? They could build even their own cars. Okay, nobody remembers that. It wasn't a famous like Tesla or Toyota or anything like that. When the economy in Greece wasn't great enough, they decided to move the factories away to other countries. So right now we have factories for making T-shirts, shirts, anything you can think about. We are just bringing it from abroad, right? How the economy of Greece will increase if we have got all of the jobs abroad. So I believe Trump is going to do the same thing. He's going to try to reverse that. So I remember that when America was great into car manufacturing, Ford was brilliant as cars. Everyone now says about Toyota, yeah, they are reliable. But if you don't have your own companies and your own factories, you are losing jobs. The unemployment is increasing. So I believe in long term, he's going to try to bring that back, to make America great. I know in short term it looks terrible, and people have to buy now with a 25% more. Yeah, it's going to cost a lot, but if you don't make any changes right now, right here, for the future, nobody will.
Interesting point. Sensei, do you agree with that? And make changes now. It's painful, but it will be okay in the future. Very interesting. I just put it on the screen that Tesla is rallying on this. And you couldn't get more connected, really, could you? Tesla is rallying on this news. It's been selling off all day. And Tesla investors like that because, of course, Tesla cars are made in America. So Tesla's just got cheaper. There's the actual reality of it. A Tesla in America now just got a lot cheaper.
Yeah, I mean, there's many things I'd say. I mean, I'm not going to pretend I know all the history books and I'm an economist or anything, but the way I see it is whatever you're good at as a country is what you focus on doing, and then you import the rest. You focus on what you're good at doing. For example, the UK, you're good at services, you import the rest. We're no longer good at manufacturing. We don't do manufacturing. We thrive on the finance sector in London, for example. You look at South Korea, North Korea. South Korea took the way of focusing on chips and importing everything else. North Korea went we'll do everything in house, and obviously we know which one's doing better. So, in my opinion, you focus on what you're doing well. You have a free trade agreements with countries. you strive that way and you make your country better in that way. Of course, there might be some benefits of bringing the automotive industry back. You get more jobs. It's better for that specific sector. But as an overall economy, in my personal opinion, you focus on what you do best. You import the rest. You have good relationships with other countries which do what you can't do anymore better. So that's on that point. So maybe we have a bit of a disagreement there with, maybe I have a disagreement there with Alex. Good to get different opinions. The other thing I'd say is Tesla rallying, of course. A few things to point out from what's going on in that news conference, which was the question was asked to Mr. Trump, what is this good for Tesla? And he and ahed. But of course, we all know, and he knows, that this is amazing for Tesla, because Tesla is one of the only companies that makes all their cars in the US, all their parts are made in the US, so that they're not going to be affected at all. And it's actually going to be great for Tesla. So having an answer where Trump just says, no, it might be good, it might not be good, it might be neutral, it might be a bit better, I think is a bit, I don't know what to call it, but we all know and he knows it's very good for Elon Musk and Tesla. So no surprise that Tesla's rallying. Also, I forgot the name of the guy who was reading out the tariff, what exactly the bill was and the tariff. He said that we might be able to save $100 billion. And then the next second, Trump goes, "Yeah, we might be able to sell one. We'll be able to. We'll add $1 trillion to our. We'll be able to add $1 trillion to the American economy in 2 years." And they're very, very different numbers. And just a simple calculation, you've got 7 million cars being imported, $45,000 average car price. That's $315 billion. You take 25% of that as tariff income, you're looking at around $78 billion per year. So I don't want anyone getting confused about the facts here. There is no way you save you add $1 trillion in the next 2 years. We are looking around $100 billion maximum here. So just to get some facts.
I'm glad you did that calculation. Now, we've got people in the chat getting, some people are very aggressive. They say someone just sort of did a derogatory comment towards Greece. Alex, who's called in. Now, we give everyone we give everybody here a voice. Everyone can call in. So Alex from England, and who's originally from Greece, and Sensei, who is calling in from England. It's late at night, and they've taken the trouble to call in. They shouldn't have their views rubbished or thrown under the bus. They've taken the time and the effort to call in. So if you are in the chat and you wish to sort of have your say, don't just sit in the chat and throw mud and be rude and aggressive and slander, and call in. The link is there for everyone. As long as you're a member, so we know you're real and you're not a troll or anything. But some people just want to have a shout and actually achieve and do nothing. Sensei, on that very note, we had so many people say our petition was pointless and useless, except we got 1,600 people to sign it. I made sure it got in front of all the people that it need to get in, and the case got dropped. Like you said the other day, is it anything to do with us? Probably not, but we played a small part in it, and we all have a say, and we all have an opportunity to do stuff, and we did stuff, and I think we should be proud of that. And thank you for your part in that. And tonight is the same thing. Everyone has a voice. This is very interesting. Look at this. The overall market, the S&P 500, is going down the toilet pretty quickly. And you all know my position. I don't like to see that, but I'm okay with it. I'm managing my risk and so on and so forth. On the contrary, look at Elon Musk, Donald Trump's favorite bloke. The Tesla is going up really quickly, up nearly 2% now in the after hours. No surprise, it's going to do really, really nicely for Tesla. No doubt about it. And maybe that's the point. You can, American car company can now compete and do a lot better than imports. Well, that's great. But I think you both mentioned this in your comments, and I am hoping other people will call in. There's actually how many people are watching right now? 329. Only 2 people have got the stomach to call in. Come on, folks. There's got to be somebody here. Lots of people are sort of, getting a bit, strange in the chat. Call in. It is good for American businesses because, it makes it easier for them to produce stuff and compete. However, it takes years to build an infrastructure, and we're not. The United States has never been an empire, and we saw what happened to the British Empire. It overreached, and it's no longer in existence. And we often say in England that America was a good idea. It just got out of control. So you've got to remember that United States is just a country, and it still does need friends around the world. You can't just go stuff it to everybody, because if we said we're going to make iPhones in America and pay American wages, sounds great, but you're now paying $4,000 for an iPhone. We have iPhones around $1,000 because of cheap labor in China. Now, you might say you don't like cheap labor and it's wrong and immoral, but agree to pay $4,000 for an iPhone. You ain't going to do it. So just consider that for a moment. We need partners. We need relationships. Let me go over to the comments in the chat and let's see what's going on. If you want to call in, only 2 people wanting to call in and have their voice. But yeah, everybody wants to rant and rave in the chat. Never understand that. There is the link in the chat. Just call in. Let me know you're calling in and you can be on tonight's show. All wage gains during the last administration are now erased due to tariffs. The coming higher prices will bury any future wage gains, says A. Visser. The live chat interactions, real-time updates and educational deep dives make the channel feel more like a collaborative investment club than just another YouTube channel. Yeah, I'm not even a YouTuber. I know people go, yes, you are. You're on YouTube. Sensei always looks at me and smiles when I say that. Is Elton John a YouTuber? Is Paul McCartney a YouTuber? Is the BBC a YouTuber? No. I simply broadcast on YouTube TV of choice. I think it's the best way to present my TV style show. I do not do things in the style of YouTube. At least I hope not. And every day I try to not do that. We are a global economy now. That is absolutely correct. Syrian Marshall, great point. Numbers plucked out of the air by Trump. The markets no longer take him seriously. That's bunga bunga. Well, I mean, we're not here. I am completely neutral. I am not pro or negative to Trump. I'm just presenting facts. And the facts are, Sensei just did a very quick calculation. It wasn't rocket science to work out how much money you're potentially going to make and save, and it was nowhere near $1 trillion. It's just, that's like me saying I'm going to get 20 trillion people become a YouTube subscriber when there's only, 8 billion people in the world. I can say it all I like, but it ain't going to ever happen, is it? It's hard enough to get to 75,000. That's taken me nearly 3 weeks. Anyway, good afternoon, says Dan Ackerman. When callers call in, are they not repped expert? It makes the show bad. Not at all. Dane, I'm not going to... Dane... Yeah, I'm not going to say your second name in case you're having a joke there. I don't know if you're being serious or not. But Dane, it doesn't make it creditable at all. Alex is one of our moderators, and Sensei is one of our partners on the show, one of our broadcasters, who's our technical chart analyst, who does shows every Sunday and very often throughout the week. But anyone can call in, and everyone has a voice. It's got nothing to do with, well, we can only allow certain people to call in, only certain people's opinions are worth anything. Everyone's opinion, everyone has a story, everyone has a voice, everyone has a thought to share, and there's nothing wrong with that. We all learn from each other. We learn from our callers. I've learned more from you than you've ever learned from me. Everyone hit the like button, says Dan Ackerman. Thank you for that. What about the jobs created and the money resulting from the jobs that is taxed 5x over the normal transactions? Very good point. Very good point, Sensei, there. Think about that. Yes, you save some money on the, like we talked about, you collect on the tariffs, but more people will be employed here. More people will be able to pay taxes. There is that calculation, of course.
Of course. You just have to see. You have to weigh them up and see what's better. And obviously, Trump has decided the tariff route is better. The markets aren't agreeing with him right now, but maybe they will.
Maybe they will. That could absolutely be the case. Let's have a look. Not rude, just feedback for your show. Dane, I appreciate your opinion, but we do allow everyone to call in. That's always been the style of our show. Everyone here has a voice. People with $1 invested or $1 billion, it doesn't matter. And we do have multimillionaires follow my show. In fact, I've got millionaire friends and one billionaire friend. So there you go. Tesla will stay in America because other countries don't want them now. Where's your profit there? That is true. Germany don't want Teslas. Canada don't want Teslas. A lot of countries now don't want Teslas. That is very, very true. Evening from England, the key. Good evening for you. Cronyism at its finest, says Bunga Bunga. I am not. I know it's friendly, but I am without my voice and don't feel well, I think, Jerome. Okay, thanks for letting me know. I appreciate it. Nobody likes to see this, the S&P drop, Martin. No, I certainly don't, of course, because I'm all in with my cash, I'm all in with my bank money, and I'm all in with my margin. I've literally not got a penny to add from anywhere unless I ring up Sensei and go, hey, Sensei, you know that gold card that I sold you? Any chance that I could sell it again and just sell it twice? Get some more money. Other than that, I've got no way to get any more money. Good evening, Martin from Houston, Texas. Sandra John, good evening to you. Looks like XRP is coming back a bit. We'll look at that in a second. Martin, I love the show. Joe Siskow, thank you so much indeed. The rest of the world may start boycotting American-made products. That's already happening. Have you seen anything of that, guys? Alex and Sensei, have you seen any evidence of anywhere around the world not wanting to buy American products? Have you experienced that yet?
No. What I've experienced is people pulling, not wanting to invest in anything to do with Donald Trump or Elon Musk. I've seen a lot of advertisement from Teslas saying 0% finance. Take that as you will. I don't know.
Yes, they are trying very hard to compete now. Someone here says, Joshua James, you dislike Trump. The people have spoken. No, not at all. Please, you're one of my members as well. So don't say things that aren't true, Joshua. I have no love or hate for the president whatsoever. I'm simply providing facts, information, and giving everyone a voice. So I'm inviting you to call in and be on my show, and yet you're not doing it. So, you know, I'm not disliking anyone. I'm just presenting the facts. Clearly, if you think I am, then you must have a negative feeling yourself. It's very often I notice when people say they call someone a liar. People always accuse people for lying because they lie themselves. I've always learned that in my life. If you are going around pointing the finger, it's very often you're pointing at yourself. I'm giving everyone a view here, everyone a say, and I'm completely neutral and just presenting facts. Martyn, I'm very happy that I joined your channel because most of YouTube channels are there to make money. And Leo, don't be under any illusion, Sandra, I do now earn money on YouTube. This is my job. I earn money from ad revenue and memberships. Yes, it barely provides me with a livable income at the moment, but I'm sure it will grow. But I do it because I love doing it, and I actually turned down, the biggest I had was $30,000 to do a crypto project promotion. I don't take any sponsorship from anyone other than my viewers, $99, my actual viewers, as you know. So I do make money from this, not much, but enough to live on. I'm not going to complain, but you know, I don't do it for the money. I do it for the right reasons, take care of people, and the money takes care of itself. But thank you for saying so. Most new manufactured plants built in the US will be run by automation. We are being asked to build the factories that won't actually employ many humans. That's a very interesting point. But Tesla themselves mentioned that tariff would affect their margins, especially many parts. Now, that is another thing. Yes, it's true that Tesla won't have tariffs slapped on them, but they kind of will, because I believe from what we've read between the lines before this announcement was made by Trump, it's not just the finished cars. The cars are going in and out, in and out. I think someone mentioned 10 times the cars go over the border of Mexico before they're completed. So parts will come in. I mean, I don't think every single part. Maybe I'm wrong. If you know better, please let me know. Maybe my panel, Alex and Sensei, know better. But as far as I understand, Tesla doesn't make every single part here in the United States. Components, metals, rubbers, plastics, core chemicals, something must come in. It can't all be produced in America. Do you guys know that's the case or not? Alex, you seem to be nodding your head. Yeah, you know that?
Due to I've been working as a mechanic, I know 100% that a car is never going to be made 100% from one country. No, parts will be imported.
Yeah.
Like China, for example. Japan.
Yeah.
They've got the best metals that they make the engines. So absolutely, they're going to borrow parts from Japan. It can't be like, unless you've got such a big production of everything and you don't need other countries to supply you with plastics or metals or anything.
I honestly don't know the answer, but I would be very surprised if there's... I learned once it was 1,000 people to make a pencil.
I didn't know that.
A simple pencil, a wooden pencil with lead inside. 1,000 different people were needed to make that pencil because of the mining, the refining of the lead, the shaping, the cutting, the tooling, this and that and the other, the wood. You just think a simple thing like that, and 1,000 different people need to be present to be able to make that pencil. It's very easy to sit here and say, we're just going to do this, we're just going to make this. Okay, you go out and try and make the most basic thing. Just, forget building a computer, forget making an iPhone or a Tesla, right? Think of a plastic fork. You try and make a plastic fork. Get up tomorrow morning with a plan and try to put together a plan for yourself to make a plastic fork. I bet you'd struggle, right? You might be able to draw it, but that'd be about as far as you got, right? It's not as easy as you think. Yeah. Anyway.
So 100%, I'd say. Yeah, just to add on that, 100% that it's not all built in the US. Again, I don't know exactly what the ruling is. Can they bring parts from outside? But either way, if you look at Tesla, they're going to be the ones that are going to be least affected. That
absolutely is the case. I think anyone's going to agree with that. And I can just show you again, Tesla is actually doing very well on this so far. It's at 1.58, but it's not all great news. People again are not going, well, let's just buy it and own it. Let's take this up to $1,000 a share. They are themselves selling it again. So there's your confidence right there. There's a lack of confidence. You couldn't have had a more seal of approval of anything than Tesla tonight. It goes up and straight away Tesla fanboys who think it's the greatest thing in the world didn't go buy, no sell, just keep going. They started selling straight away. It's a tiny little ripple on the pond and they're already selling it. So that just shows you the lack of faith is not even there for Tesla. So that's a bit of a shame.
Yeah, and just to add to that, I mean, Tesla is the best affected by this, but we need to look at the bigger picture. Tesla might not be the best investment right now because half the world doesn't want to own a Tesla anymore. So, yeah, it's just the American market that Tesla might be doing well in. There's a whole other market out there as well.
Yeah. Poor man, rich man. I'm ready for Piano Man tomorrow. It's on Friday. The concert is every Friday, not Thursday. So I just thought I'd let you know it's not today. It's on Friday. But thank you very much indeed. The people have spoken. Trump is in charge. If he's doing tariffs, people have spoken. Well, I don't know. Did you vote for tariffs? I didn't vote. Well, I can't vote. I've never heard. I mean, there's not one analyst. There's not one technician, not one CFO who has gone on the record to say tariffs are a good idea. And the last time we tried tariffs was in the Great Depression. Didn't work out then either. So there's no evidence by anyone who knows anything about anything that tariffs work. And let's just not, and again, I know some people are going to go, you obviously hate Trump. I don't hate Trump at all. I'm completely impartial, but I do like to have balance of the conversation and not be like you, just saying everything's great or everything's bad. You say Trump is a great businessman, except he's gone bankrupt 6 times. So it's not like he's been successful all the time. So let's just keep it in balance and balance things out a little bit. Is XRP's price being suppressed? I don't know what that would have to do with tariffs tonight. Senzo, you could quickly ask, any thoughts on that? XRP being suppressed? Everyone, I think, expected on this SEC case being dropped, suddenly XRP would go up. We still believe a path to $10, but it was never going to be an immediate, well, that's great, now it goes to $10. The product, the technology, and you know more about it than me, so please give me your thoughts. It hasn't changed, has it? Nothing has changed about XRP just because the case was dropped. We always knew it was going to happen. What's actually happened? Nothing.
Nothing's changed fundamentally. Nothing's changed sentiment-wise. I would say as well. I mean, this is what needs to happen for the next steps to go on. And as I've said before, the case got dropped. We were petitioning for it to get dropped. We played our part. We used the channel to the advantage of all the members. And we got the case dropped. And that case being dropped is what will fuel the next moves, which is the ETF, which is the Ripple IPO, which is Ripple as a business now doing better because they don't have to pay as much as a fee. And that's what that's what we need to focus on. And as said, this SEC case being dropped, don't expect a big move to the upside. You might see a 5-10% move, but that's not what's key. It's the next moves. It's what it allows to be facilitated in the future, and hopefully we'll see that with the SEC case being dropped. That doesn't change anything about XRP. Whereas an ETF being brought out, that's new money in the stock market that can be invested in XRP, or a Ripple IPO. That's new investors learning about Ripple, learning about XRP. SEC case being dropped. The ruling was already there that XRP is not a security. This is very much a lawsuit against Ripple, Brad Garlinghouse, Chris Larsen, not about XRP itself.
Thank you very much for that, Sensei. Avissa would like to apologise to Alex. No apology necessary. It's just good to have the debate. And the reason why, and I'm going to always have to explain this, 20 years from now, I'm still going to be sitting here explaining this because people come in for the first time. People see the show for 10 seconds, and I do my very best to make sure everyone's seen everything and explained everything, even if I fail all the time, because people leave 10 seconds later and they didn't hear what I said. It's very important for me to make the effort to engage with everybody and answer everything, and that's absolutely fine. You were giving your opinion, and that's not rude at all. Alex was sharing his experiences of Greece, and he was right to do so. And you were talking back to him, and that was fine. It wasn't meant in any way whatsoever. And see, Alex is nodding perfectly fine. Tesla sales are down in the USA too. Now, this is really concerning me now. Really concerning me for my position, because I am all in on cash. I am all in with everything, and I'm all in with margin, not a penny left. I couldn't be more in, and the market is going down. Now, I look back on history, and we have been through way bigger situations than this, and the S&P always recovers. Not because it's some magical thing, because even if markets go sideways, markets go up with printing of money, with inflation and so on. Just like the house that you have today, in 1,000 years from today, it'll be a pile of rubble, but it'll be worth more than it is today. Even though it's not a better house, not because it got more valuable, because money was devalued, so your house is more expensive. So the stock market always goes up, not individual stocks. If you're calling in, let me know you are calling in the chat, and I can let you into the call. Okay, I need to know if you're calling in. If you want to call in, let me know in the chat. So I am concerned seeing my S&P go down so much, particularly as there seems now no faith even in Tesla. It popped up, and the moment it popped up, it started to sell again. Very, very sad to see that happen. So even Tesla fanboys have gone, great, but I'm still taking my profits. This is what worries me. There seems very much a lack of confidence now in the markets. I've got a new guest calling in. Saab is calling in. I'll put Saab in. Oh, there he is. He's already in spot number 6. Let me just tidy up your camera a little bit. Lovely to have you here, Saab. Thank you for calling in. I'll come to you in a second. Thank you very much indeed. So I am a little concerned tonight to see this, but through history, through depressions, through world wars, through tariffs back in the 30s, all of this stuff has come and gone away and the markets recover. So it's just a matter of, will I be forced to sell through margin call? I don't think so. I've managed my risk very wisely. I'm now using tax lots and being able to, when it pops up, sell some that I don't really want. I explained, like taking something back for the January sale and getting getting your money back and then keeping the ones that were cheaper. I've actually applied that strategy. I don't know if Sensei saw that, and I'd be interested. Yeah, I'd be interested on your thoughts on that, because I know you've always been concerned how much I'm in, and you know the margins got extremely large and so on and so forth. I'm very distressed to see this, but my experience and history tells me that you just got to remain in. You couldn't use margin to this extent in a single stock. That would be extremely risky right now, and you'd be virtually shooting yourself in the foot. But with the S&P going down and taking all these dips, and it's shown how resilient it is, because if you look back, actually, it's hardly down. And it could be down a lot more. We've only had a 13% correction. We haven't had an all-out crash. And it doesn't look like we're going to get one until tonight. We don't know what tomorrow we're going to make of this, but we'll find out. Let's hope not, hey? But anyway, if you'd like to call in, you can be on the show. Let me come to our next guest. We've got Saab calling in. Now, Saab is a Tesla investor as well as XRP. What have you heard tonight? You've just heard the T and the X. You've heard tonight that this theoretically could benefit Tesla, because Tesla's just got cheaper, but no one wants to buy one that much at the moment. Well, you know, the Democrats don't want to buy one anyway, let's put it that way. Of course, parts for the Tesla are going to go up in price. It's not just the cars that seem cheaper. What do you feel about it? Tesla popped up, it's been sold off straight away, gone back down again. Oh, I've muted you. I beg your pardon. Let me unmute you. I beg your pardon. There you go. Sorry about that. Please carry on.
It's just another blip. You know, I'm all back in. I remember I sold 50% of my Tesla when it was going down, and then when it went down to the lowest point, or it was a couple of dollars higher. You know, but I bought back in, and you know, I had to look at my thesis again, and just to remind myself like what I'm doing here, and then just look at the broader picture. You know, you look at the charts 4 or 5 years ago, and how Tesla moves, and yeah, it's going to go back up. You know, everybody's scared about the tariffs. I think it's going to go back up, and you know, had a little bit of a rebound there, which is great to see. And I think we've seen almost seen the bottom. I think it'll probably go down a little more and then come back up. So the tariffs, you know, people are coming to deals are being made, and you watch. It's going to come back up, and we'll all have forgotten about this in about 3 or 4 months' time.
I feel that way, Saab. I wouldn't be all in. I wouldn't be all invested in if I didn't believe that. I believe we've already seen the bottom. We've had a bounce back, and it hasn't gone back to that point now. It could have done, but it hasn't. It's still above that level, about 5% above that level, actually. So, you know, I'm still bullish. Do I like to see this? No, it does present me opportunity, though. Got to remember that. It gives me a chance to buy more and more. Every month that goes, Sensei's going, no, it don't. I'm going, yeah, it does. No, it don't. But every month I earn money, and I'm able to buy more and more at these prices. Because like we've always said, the S&P, on average, if you just bought it regularly and you auto paid in your dividends, you make about 10%. I've said about 13 because I like to buy the dips, but then I buy the increased macro dips, a 13% down, potentially a 23% gain this year. So a 23% potential gain this year costing me 5.25 on my borrowed money. Remember, my cash, I've never sold any of my cash stocks, so that's all for free. So overall, my portfolio is actually costing me the cost of business 2.5% a year. Well, if you can't make more than 2.5% a year by owning the S&P, what the hell's the point? I might as well just give up and just accept it, that it's all rubbish, and just live in a hole in the ground. So, you know, every month that goes by, I earn a bit more money. I buy a bit more of the S&P. When it does start to go up and rebound, because it will, my portfolio will explode. So I still feel that way, Sensei. I could see you nodding, not agreeing with me there. What's your thoughts, your reasoning behind that? I kind of already know, but share it with the viewers.
No, I wasn't. I'm impartial at the moment. I think if you're investing in anything, the S&P 500 is the best bet. I personally think, I mean, Saab made the point that in 4 months' time, this will blow over. We'll be thinking about something else. I would tend to agree. However, how long's Trump been in office now? And these tariff things are continuing to go on. And then the next thing comes out. Today it's auto. Tomorrow it'll be something else. Then it'll be a trade war. Then it'll be a tariff war. I think this is going to continue because the markets have been doing so well in the Biden administration or within that time. I think there is we've got a big buffer zone here where Trump can afford to play around with. The markets are in a good way. Inflation was coming down. He's in a situation where he can play around with it, get a feel for it, put some big changes in place. And then I think at some point this will potentially lead to a recession, or we might be in a recession.
We could already be in a recession, couldn't we?
Yeah, where we get that big move to the downside, where we're down 10% now. It won't take much for this to escalate, and you get maybe a potential 30% correction, and then Trump will have to figure out what policies he wants to stick with, what ones he doesn't. Turn the money printer on, and then we forget about this in maybe 6 to 12 months time. But yeah, I think there might be a bit more pain ahead. Because there's a big buffer zone because of how well the markets have been performing and inflation coming down for now anyway. Okay, let me ask this question, and I can be as honest as I like, but still people will still doubt what I'm saying. I want to give the most honest and impartial view on this, and I'd love people's honest, impartial opinions and thoughts and answers on this. We all know, and hopefully everybody knows who is watching it today, whether you are a small investor or a large investor. We all know it's basic fundamentals. If you went to investing school, so what you learn on day one. The markets trade on sentiment. Okay, it's all about opinion. It's a weighing machine and how people feel on the day. It's a measure of sentiment. The stock price and the index of where we stand today is not a representation of the business, okay? If you want to know how powerful and how viable and how productive and profitable and investable a business is, you look at the balance sheet, you see the profits, the margins, the debt, so on and so forth, and you can value that business and you can work out what that business is worth. That's not an opinion, that's a fact. You work out exactly what that business is worth. Now, you're never going to be able to buy the business for what it's worth because it's expected to grow. No one's ever going to allow you to buy it what it's worth. People are going to buy it ahead of time because it's going to grow, right? So you're never going to be able to buy Tesla for what it's worth. And you might say it's only worth $50 a share. I mean, let's say it's worth $50 a share. You're not going to get that because we know it's going to grow. So everyone's going to pay for the future price growing into that price. That's a fact. That's not an opinion. That's a fact, right? So the price of the stock and the index today is not the value of the business. It's purely sentiment. And sentiment arrives at that number because people who've got money, not us, not retail investors with a few quid here and there, but the billionaires, the trillionaires, the market itself, right? They look at it differently than we do. And for some reason, I was right middle of conversation. You know what it's like when you're mid-conversation, your brain goes,
and it's gone. So hopefully that's going to come back in my head in a second. How bloody embarrassing when that happens live on the show. That's called getting old. That never happens to Sensei and Alex. It probably happens to Saab. It probably happens to Saab a lot. Yeah, good. Just admit it, even if it doesn't, Saab. Just keep me going for a minute while I somehow recoil it from the back of my head. It's gone. But the point is, you're never going to be able to buy the future price, the actual value of the businesses. This is always a future thing. Now, it's come back. It's come back. Now, Wall Street, the billionaires, the millionaires on Wall Street, they have options. Unlike us, they can move the markets. We can't. We like to think we can, but we can't. Now, if you're a millionaire, and I've known several millionaires who I have this conversation with from time to time at lunch, and one billionaire, they don't risk their money. They don't invest it in Binky Bonk. They might put $1 million in Binky Bonk for a laugh. They see it as a lottery ticket, but they don't put all their money in like we might do if we're trying to be speculative. They don't do stuff like that because they know 4% minimum a year is a lot of money when you got a million or $1 billion. So they don't mess around. So the market is exactly the same. It looks at the market and goes, you know what? There's risk. There's uncertainty. There's Donald Trump playing silly buggers. There's all this uncertainty going on. I'm not going to have my money go down. That's exactly what Warren Buffett did. He took his money away, parked it over here. And when sentiment has all gone away, even if the market goes up again, that's when he rejoins. That's what real money does. We're not real money. We think we are. I think I'm real money, but I'm not, right? And we all know it, right? So that's how it works. So the question I'm going to ask you is this. We've seen the market sell off since Trump's been in, up and down like a yo-yo. Now, I want everyone to be honest with me and give me their thoughts in the chat. If you like Trump, you like Trump. If you don't like Trump, you don't like Trump. That's fine. If you agree with him, you do. If you don't, you don't. He's got his opinions and his ideas, and you might agree with them or not. But that is not what I'm asking you. I'm not asking you whether you agree with Trump putting tariffs on and all these things, or you don't. Not asking you, I'm just going to support Trump, whatever he says, and I'm just going to hate Biden, whatever he says, and I'm just using that example, or the other way around. The question I'm asking you is this, not whether you agree on Trump's decisions and principles and ideas, because I don't care. That doesn't matter, right? Because you're just going to say yes if you like Trump and no if you don't, right? That's just an election. We're not having an election. I want to know if you agree with Trump or disagree. The question I'm asking you is this, whether you agree with Trump's decisions or not. So in other words, putting tariffs on, blah, 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 not important. The question is this, do you agree with the way he's done it? In other words, because of the uncertainty, the on-off, doing it. No, we're not. Yes, we are. It's created havoc, chaos, markets. People don't know what's happening. Uncertainty everywhere. Uncertainty is not a good thing. Initially, you might go, well, yes, it is. It allows me to buy on a discount. That's for you today. Think of all the people who are either losing their jobs or the people who are retiring now and their pension pot is on its arse. They want to sell their S&P. They want to take money out of their S&P. They want to cash in their pension. They can't. Their financial advisor is going, hang on a minute, you might want to wait a while. It's rubbish right now. Those people are going, I can't wait. I haven't got any money. That's why I invested. So today I could take my money out. I've been doing it for 50 years and now you can't because it's on its arse. So the question I'm asking you is, whether you like Trump or not, whether you agree or not, do you think that Trump has run the business of the United States well? Is he a good leader, a good captain? And if you think he's running it really well, say yes in the chat. Copy and paste yes so I can see it. If you think no, even if you like what he's done, but you think no, on, off, up and down, left and right. One day we're here, next day we're there, but then we're tweeting about wars and God knows what on an app. If you think it's not being run properly, then say no. So let me see in the chat. Do you think the country is being run wisely, or do you think not? Namisha says yes. He's doing a good job. I like it. Richie says yes. Yes. You're doing a good job. You're happy with this uncertainty. All right. Mike says no. Kent Paranormal, no. Saab says yes, I like it. Mike says yes. Dan Ackerman says yes. Crypto Big Chi says yes. Win seem to be. Let's have a quick look. Are we? No, I think we're back. Are we back? Yes, we switched over to backup internet, and we are all good. There we go. I've lost my callers. If you want to call back. Oh, it says you're offline. I can't be offline. Can I be offline? I'm offline. It says. Let me finish. Let me just try to get this back. Content live. Let me see if I can get this back. It seems I think I'm still online. Am I back? I'm back. Thank you very much. Yeah. Okay. We switched over to backup internet there, and that's great. Let me just bring everybody back. James, I've got James on the phone. James, I can. Is this James 007? You'll never guess who's calling in, folks. James 007. Here he is.
No. Lucas.
This is James who?
This is James with the XRP, remember?
Oh, James XRP. I beg your pardon, James. Sorry, I beg your pardon.
But I want to tell you a story about that 007.
Oh, go on then.
The other day when you had your members only show, and there was a James trying to get in, and everybody thought it was James 007.
Was it you?
Well, yes, it was me. I found out later that you had to be a member and everything else, but I kept hearing you say, "Well, there's a James trying to get in," and I'm like, "Oh God, no!" And James 007 saying it's not me. So no, it was me trying to get in.
Oh, I see. Are you not a member?
No, but I it looks like I'm going to have to be to get in.
You're going to have to be. You're going to have to be now because it reconnected to the internet. You got round my security, so I let you in thinking you were a member, and you wasn't. You found
no, I just dialed in and that was it. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, well, that's what happened. It reconnected to my backup internet, and you were hello, I've lost you. Oh, hang on a minute, it's gone again. Where's everybody going? I seem to be all over the place here. What is going on here? I've got issues left, right, and center. I'm not quite sure what is going on. I'm going to open and close. Let me open and close the phone in. Am I live, Leah? I seem to be all over the place tonight. I don't know what the heck's going on. Have I lost it again? Let me just check. Sure what is going on. No, I've got it. Yeah, there we go. Let me do that. Right, let me give everyone the link to call in. Okay, we've had some technical issues here tonight. There we go, James.
Saw your face drop when everyone just started going off.
Yeah.
One by one, dropping like flies.
James, just because you're so clever to hack into my system, make my system crash so you could get round the security, I'm going to let you stay in, even though you're not a member. How about that?
Is this a member-only chat?
They're all members-only chats. I don't let anyone call in they're not members. But don't worry, you're on now. You're like an honorary member.
I appreciate it.
That's all right, mate.
I appreciate it.
That's all right. That's all right. Don't you worry about it. Don't worry about it. So where are you calling in from?
The Washington, D.C. area.
Washington, D.C.
Nation's capital.
Yes. Nation's capital, yes. What do you think about what you've heard tonight with 25% tariffs now on every car coming in the US, plus the parts, instant inflation, vroom, straight up. What do you think about it?
I tell you what, these last 2 months have been a yo-yo. And every time you try to get ahead, all of a sudden something pops up, and then it's like you're running a race and then somebody trips you, and now you got to catch back up again. And that's all it's been. And the people around in this area are a lot of talk, a lot of it is everybody's just kind of blinded right now. For me, it's getting to the point where I don't even want to look at the stock market. I'm turning to Netflix and other activities for a while until this settles down. But it's not going to settle down. To me, I don't think it's going to settle down for probably another 3 months, because
you have said something very, very important there, because that's what the market has done since the beginning of time, right? It goes through crises, it goes through drama, and the real investors who really believe in the economy, who really believe in the businesses, keep staying, keep finding more money, keep buying the dips, and they stay in. At the moment, it's happened over and over again. Look through history. At the moment of capitulation, when everyone retreats and gets out and retail investors go, I'm sick of it. I don't believe in it anymore. I don't believe in any of this. Whoom, straight up, and that's it. You missed it. I really believe in that. I think that's going to happen. That could happen tomorrow. That could happen next week. But it's going to happen in the next few months. It's going to happen. And I want to be in when that happens, because it's happened like that every single time. And I today, even though I don't sit here with any fear whatsoever of margin call and drama and stuff like that, because the biggest investment I'm making is in myself, my education, my discipline, my ability to earn money, to keep buying it, keep staying in. It is horrible. Today, I thought we were done with all the tariffs. I thought, well, not done with the tariffs, but I thought we priced in April 2nd. I thought we bottomed. I made loads of videos saying, I think we bottomed. Still think we bottomed. We're still up from the bottom. Still think we bottomed. But I just thought we started to rally. And I thought, okay, we were bound to trim today, which is why I used my tax lots and sold some at the wash level to buy the low one. I did the right thing. And I thought, we're about there. Now we just got to go sideways for a while. That's all right, that's okay. But when it started going down again, I felt angry. I felt like frustrated, going, not again. I just want some stability, some sensible invest. Look, Saab's nodding his head. I think lots of people are feeling like that. But I bet you the majority of people feeling like that are us, retail investors. I bet the seasoned pros, the ones with the money and the power, I don't think they're bothered. And in fact, I know they're not bothered, because when I had lunch last week with my mate who's got millions of shares of Amazon, he's still planning holidays around the world, cashing in on his money. He ain't bothered. He doesn't feel a damn thing. And I've got one billionaire friend as well, and he doesn't care less either. So, we do, because it's different for us, right? But that's the moment when we all give up. And it goes up without us again. And we all sit here and moan going, oh, I don't believe it. It's gone up again. What do you think, James?
Well, right now, the way things are going, I think it's an excuse for manipulation on the markets. Every time something just pops up, especially the whales and the whales especially, they're picking the markets apart. They're coming in when they want. They're just like sharks surrounding a school of fish, and I think it is manipulation, and that's why, because it keeps going up, down, up, down, up, down. Then it goes straight across, and then it's to the point. Well, okay, when you guys finish playing, then let me know. I mean, I'll jump in and
but that'll
score.
be too late.
I know. Well, I'll jump in and score. I'm still in the game. I still got money on the side. I'm waiting for certain things to pop down a little bit further, and then I'm going to
see. The difference is we've all got the rules, but we've got to play the rules differently to suit our life, right? Warren Buffett, he's sitting, waiting and seeing, just like you, but you're not Warren Buffett, because when you jump in, nothing happens. When Warren Buffett jumps in, the market goes up because $1 billion, $10 billion, $1 trillion gets invested. You can't do that.
I can only dream.
When he saw that he's selling the S&P, how people panicked, and it was like what
0.01% of his portfolio.
So you can see the power that he has. Like,
exactly.
But that's the thing. I wanna add to James what he said. Like when you guys finished playing, what helped me, it was when you guys finished playing, I'm still waiting because you're still in the game, but you're just chilling. You know. So I just wanted to add it up.
I'm going to be like that. I'm going to be like that shark. I totally agree. I'm going to sit back. I'm going to circle around. I'm going to circle around. When I see blood, I'm going to go attack. And that's what I'm waiting for. Let them go manipulate the market. Let things come down. That's just a bigger opportunity for me.
Yeah, there's different ways to play the game. There's different the people I'm talking to, the ones that sold as soon as they found out Trump's coming into office, they sold because they knew uncertainty was coming to the markets. They're going to get back in, and whether that's it's a much better price, maybe today is a much better price, or maybe another 10% move down, or maybe it's at the same price that they sold at. However, they didn't have to experience all this volatility. Their money might have gone into gold, which has gone up. Their money might have been in bonds, which have been earning them 5%. They don't have to deal with all this stress. They left when the uncertainty was coming in. That uncertainty is still going to stay in the markets. That uncertainty might cause the markets to come down, and they might get a better price, or they might get the same price. But they've managed to steer clear of all this uncertainty. And the other thing is with all of this going on with Trump, whether you like him, whether you don't, one thing's very clear is what he's doing is not what he's saying at face value is not the truth. It's never the truth. For whoever the president is, whatever they're saying, you shouldn't take it as face value. What's going on is behind the scenes. And one thing I think he's doing.
MSK donated £10 through a super chat. If you have a solid long-term plan, then no amount of macro manipulation matters.
He's dead right.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah. Sorry, you carry on, Sensei.
Yeah, the last point was you have to look what's going on behind the scenes. Why is there all this uncertainty going on? Well, it's because if the markets sell off, then interest rates will have to come down. The Fed will have to reduce these interest rates. Once these interest rates come down, he can get all the debt that the US has and he can put it on a lower interest rate. That's what's happening behind the scenes. It's not because he wants to bring jobs back, do this, do that, do this. Or maybe it's a little bit of this. It's just what you want to hear, what all the supporters want to hear. But behind the scenes, he wants the uncertainty. He knows he's bringing uncertainty. He wants to bring the markets down. He wants interest rates to come down. And the only way interest rates are going to come down in a forceful matter is if inflation goes up. This happens.
Finally, come down, we agree on something. Yeah. I agree with you. I said that on my video a couple of days ago. This has got nothing to do with all the tariff uncertainty. This is being done to simply, it's not about negotiating and getting deals done. You don't do it like this. He's doing it to bring down the market, to bring down inflation. Why? His biggest mission of everything is not tariffs, it's not make America great again. It's reduce the national debt. And how soon can you reduce the national debt if you can halve the interest payment and force the Fed? He said it over and over again. I want the interest rates to come down. The Fed are going to have to bring the rates down. Yes, Saab has got something to say. Saab.
Definitely. I mean, look, we all hate the uncertainty. We hate it. We're in a rough game. We're in the markets. You know, this is not for the lighthearted. We're in the game to play the game, right? And you know what? Things are going to go bad. And you look through the charts, through history, things go up and down. And otherwise, this whole thing wouldn't be playing. You're absolutely right. He's playing the game to bring down the treasury prices and get the debt down. If he pays off even if he pays off some of the debt, people are going to go nuts, and he's going to be everybody's going to love him.
Yeah.
Because how many presidents have paid off any of the debt? None. They've been sitting around. It's been great, The markets have been great, going up, but the debt's also going up. And if we go broke, then we've got nothing to play for. If he gets the debt down even 10%, people are going to go crazy.
I agree.
You know what? If we don't pull out weeds, our plants don't grow. So he's come in and he's pulling out the weeds right now, and he's resetting the market, and he's going to pay off some of that debt. And that's the plan. Listen to the Treasury. Listen to Besant. You know, that's the plan. That it's out there.
Totally agree. Sorry, Sensei.
Just before we get too carried away, I'm saying that's probably what he's doing, but I'm also not saying this is the way to go about it. I agree with what Saab's saying, but I personally, I'm not saying I don't know what the best way to go about it is, but I'm not saying this is the best way to go about paying off the debt.
Do you know what I'm thinking here? Because I have these conversations with you guys. I have conversations all day, every day with retail investors. We're all the same. We're in the same boat. Some of us have $1. Some of us have 100 million, but we're all retail investors. Well, in fact, I don't know if anyone has 100 million, but anyway, maybe Sensei does. He's always on holiday. He has 100 million. He made a lot of money on XRP. I know it. He never told us how much, but we know he made a lot of money. That's how he bought my gold card. He must have 100 million, right? So we're all retail investors. I bet you any money you like. And in fact, I do know this, and I've got to keep reminding myself of this. When I have this conversation every day with you, the retail investors, just like me, we're all here together, the boys and the girls having conversations. We're all fearful. We're all worried. We try and make ourselves feel better, blah, 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 blah. All right? We're retail investors. We're in this little pub, all getting around together, trying to make ourselves feel better. Some of us will tell us, some will say, hey, guys, you want to buy this is the best stock in the world. But we're all kind of in it together, supporting each other to get through. Then you go into the pub next door. No retail investors in there. Then you have the government people. Then you have the CEOs, the hedge fund managers. Then you have all the billionaires. Then you have completely different conversation. And I need to keep reminding myself about this, because when I have my preliminary conversations with the CEOs that I have for the show, when I talk to hedge fund managers, when I talk to a few people on X from different things, and they talk very differently. And they feel about this very, very differently. Publicly, they'll come on CNBC and go, oh, yeah, it's terrible. I don't like Trump, whatever. But together, what they're saying the same things, but different than what we're saying. But they're all agreeing with each other, like we're all running around here, retail investors like headless chickens going, oh, God, what do we do? They're over here, much calmer. And I've learned all my life, follow the money. Follow the money. And when I started this, I used to get criticized by Omar with his 4 million subscribers, whatever he had. He kept calling me a hedgie. Martyn's not one of us, everybody. He makes friends with hedge fund managers. I went, yeah, that's right, I do. Because I want to know what's really going on so I can tell my mates, not just let's form a little club amongst ourselves and lock ourselves away and think, well, we got 75,000 subscribers so we can stuff it to the man because we are the people. No. We got no power whatsoever. So don't get carried away with yourself. Make friends with those that make a difference. And whenever I talk to those people, they feel about it differently. And think about this for a moment. You just said it. Saab said it. He said about the interest rates and all the rest of it, bringing it down. Why are so many CEOs now doing two things? And I know this because they told me. One, buybacks. Just waiting to pull the trigger on buybacks, number one. That tells you they're confident in their future. They're just about to get the best price they can, number one. And number two, why are we suddenly seeing all these IPOs, pre-IPOs pop up everywhere? None of those for ages. Because IPOs, new companies, come to the market when there's a good way to raise money, where people are ready to buy, when interest rates come down, so it's conducive for new growing businesses where people are looking for opportunity. They come at a time when people are ready to buy, and you're seeing a lot of that right now. So I think this is why I'm all in. I know it's expensive. I know it's difficult, and it's much easier just to buy with cash and just put my little bit of income every month on YouTube, but you'll miss the opportunity. And the time for paying down margin will come. It will come. Once we start rallying, I can just start chipping away, selling a few shares for profit, reinvesting the dividends. I've got $1,000 coming into this month now. In fact, nearly 1,100 on just the S&P. So think about that. It's not insignificant, right? And the time will come to start looking at this differently. But right now, we have to stay in. We have to think of it the way they think of it, not how we are around the pub all trying to scramble around. We're all trying to make money. They're trying to save it. That's the difference. We've got a little bit of money, and how can I get this like 10x in 5 minutes? They're going, how do I protect my money in a volatile environment and re-enter when it's safe? That's what the money does. We look at it, how can I make money? They just go, how can I protect my money? Yes, Alex.
I don't know if you remember that, Martin. Now that Sabin Sensei said about the tax rate and everything, I think that makes a little bit more sense into my mind, the way I was thinking it. We had a conversation like a month ago, if you remember, about the Panama.
Oh yeah, the Panama Canal.
Do you remember how many times I've said the same thing? Like, people overreact, and you have said the same thing, that we've got overreaction in the market, fear and everything. True investors will be patient. They won't even panic. And I think it's the first time in my life that I feel nothing. I'm just keep buying. Like, I literally have zero money in my bank.
Oh, yeah, you like me.
Arby donated $4.99 through a super chat. I'm with you, Martin. I'm all in. However, I'm with Jepk. If it gets low enough, I will use my margin and stack some.
Thank you, RB.
So I've been saying many times in your lives when we have conversations that Trump is not a stupid person. He's a businessman. Obviously, he's not a politician, and no one is perfect, right? We all make mistakes. Even he will make mistakes. And I'm not a Trump fan, and I'm not a hater of Trump. I'm an investor, and I just want to protect my money and how to grow them 2 times, 3 times, 10 times, whatever. So when I say that he's not stupid, I meant that he has a plan. It was too obvious, to be honest, in the beginning. The best attack is not to present all your cards. So he's hiding something. Now, the true reason why he's doing what he's doing, God knows, and only he. So, but I still believe he's not stupid. He wants to bring down the market. And I believe that, and I've seen some of your comments the past week, that everyone was trying to say that, why don't buy the S&P of Europe or whatever? Why would you want to buy something that is expensive with no future, right? While the S&P in America is, you know.
Well, I wouldn't quite go that far. Europe, there's no future. Don't buy anything. Don't buy British Telecom. No, there's no future in it.
Jerry and Elba donated $5 through a super chat. Thank you, Martin. The Lucas Aid family is blessed.
Now, hang on before you come back, just to show you that this is a real show. There's no pretending here. Just got to check in with the boss because it's 6 o'clock in the evening. Leah, how long have I got before dinner? 30 minutes. Okay, I need to finish this in 15 minutes. See, you don't see this on the BBC, do you? You don't see I'm on the BBC. Excuse me, what time's for dinner ready? 15 minutes. Right, we're going to close it. This is real, folks. This is real. 6 o'clock in the evening. If I go past 15 minutes and I'm not early for dinner, I'm ready on time, washed up and ready to go, there'll be no show tomorrow. It's got nothing to do with me feeling poorly or I had a bad night. It's to do with Leah told me, just saying, right? Read between the lines. I'm only joking. Leah doesn't tell me off really, but she might if I turn up late for dinner. Saab's looking at me thinking, I don't believe it. Is that why you weren't on this morning? You upset Leah, didn't you? That's what it is. Well, no, I didn't upset Leah, but I could have upset Leah. Right. Anyway, we'll leave it like that. So yeah, Alex, I cut you off. Go on.
Yeah, sorry, just because James wants to speak as well. I didn't mean with no future that there is no future at all. Like, it was
no future in England. Don't bother with it. Rubbish. British Telecom, no one's buying it. Carry on.
Well, S&P 500, like the VOO, is much more valuable. That's what I wanted to say with No Future. Like, it's more valuable than the SPGI or
exactly. And you got to remember when we talk about American companies, and then you look at the all world, and then you look at all the different tariffs. Many of them contain American companies, right? You can't. It doesn't matter if you like Trump or not. It doesn't matter if you like America or not. But wherever you are in the world, you can't write off Amazon, Google, Microsoft, Apple. The list goes on and on and on, right? Great businesses are out of America, all right? So you can't just go write everybody off, because I tell you one thing I've learned all my life, and I'm going to come to James right after this. Business always finds a way to make money, regardless of where it is. Entrepreneurs, people right now in Gaza, in a bombed out area, I've seen it. Entrepreneurial people are trying to provide services. There's a little man, he's trying to cut people's hair and make some money so he can buy some food, and people are paying him a couple of shekels or whatever you pay in Gaza, I don't know, right? But there's people in terrible situations building little businesses, and when it's all over, they'll be the new chain of hairdressers or the new chain of grocery stores or whatever. People find ways to make money, no matter what Trump says, what he doesn't say. American businesses do it because they like making stuff. They like making business. They like making money, and they'll find a way to be successful, regardless of whoever is president. Remember, Ronald Reagan was a film star. He didn't go to politician school. He was a film star, right? So it doesn't matter. Donald Trump is one person. He's not every business. Apple's great because the people that build the iPhones and Tim Cook, who runs the company, he's got to work within the confines of Americans' rules, but it's the people that build the stuff. James.
Okay, I'm going to go off subject here real quick. I know you guys are more experienced than I am, and we had this in our first conversation, but I keep hearing 1x, 2x, 3x, 4x, 10x. Can you explain to me what that means?
Oh, okay.
I know it's a dumb question, but...
No, not at all. If you 2x, you double your money. 2 times, double your money. 100% gain. 5x, 500%.
Okay, that was simple.
Yeah, simple.
I've been always wanting to know what it is. I keep hearing everybody.
People
you're
very often, retail investors are looking for the 10x's and all these things. But I have said, focus on finding a way to earn 1% every single day, never lose, and you'll do better than the 10x's. Because the people that 10x make 10x one day, think they can do it again, and next time they don't get so lucky, and they'll lose a 10x. They'll be down 10 times, if that's possible. It's not really possible, is it? But anyway, you know what I mean. So that's what we mean by 10xing.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that.
No, not at all. I'm glad you asked, because maybe somebody else thought that. Saab.
Just to correct you there, Martyn, a 400% would be a 5x.
Okay, smarty pants. James knew what I meant. Oh, yeah, all right, okay.
Yes, I did.
You know what I meant, right? Well, that's why we got the technical chart man with the actual numbers. He's working. See, I'm a bit like Trump. I just make it up, right? But Senza goes, hang on a minute, let me just calculate that. It's actually four times. Well, I didn't say it was a trillion, no, did I? Did I say it? No, didn't say it was a trillion. Right, okay. Saab, do what, Alex?
It was a pretty good calculation, just like in a second. Like, honestly, amazed about that.
I'm that good. Or did you mean Sensei?
No, I'm not Sensei, yeah.
He's the technical guy. That's his job. If he got the numbers wrong, he'd be fired, wouldn't he? You're fired, right? He's the numbers guy. I'm the entertainer. I can make it up. It's Martyn. Martyn makes it up.
It's a very simple mistake everyone makes. It's 100% move is a 2x. If you make 100%, you're doubling it. So
all right. Don't rub it in, right? If you want more listen,
I'm just saying I'm not very special.
You come for the entertainment Monday to Friday, all right? Monday to Friday, you come for the entertainment.
See what I started?
James, I'm talking in a minute. Wait a minute. On Sunday, you get the technicals. You get the actual numbers. Monday to Friday, just take it with a pinch of salt. Saab, any thoughts on all this nonsense?
If you had said 10x is more than it'll ever be in the world, then it would be
the greatest deal ever. The best.
See
ever.
what I started? See what I started?
None of us are happy with this. None of us are happy with how the markets are right now, and it is tough, you know. But you know, it could be a bear market. We don't know. Nobody knows 100%. But the game we're in is the game of the markets, and you know, it could go up, it could go down, but we all bet and try and be positive that it's going to go up. You know, if it had stayed up at those crazy overpriced levels that it had been, I'm glad it happened now rather than it's 2 months from now.
Yeah. It's healthy. You've got to have a pullback. And I've just decided we're going to change policy from now on, right? We're going to have the rule is you've got to be a member to call in, but we let one rogue non-member call in every day just to spice it up. Right, so James, you don't need to ever become a member. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. You've got pay up, you cheapskate. Right, but if you're a non-member, I will let you in now and again just to spice it up. See, that wouldn't have come from a member. A member would have realised. I'm not saying that. I'm not making Martyn look bad on his own show live. No, but James, in fact, it was Sensei who made me look bad, wasn't it? It wasn't James. He was being nice.
It wasn't me.
No, he was bloody Sensei.
He sold you all the mugs. Now he's.
I'm the innocent
you.
I know. You know what's going on? He's trying to do one of those. What do they call it? Those. What's it called? The takeover. What do they call it? A silent takeover. A coup. Yeah. A coup. It's something like that. There's some word comes before a takeover, an aggressive takeover or something like that. What he's trying to do, he's trying to worm his way in, and at the right moment, he'll say, "I'm live on Sunday on my own channel. Check me out." That's what it'll be. That's what it'll be. That's what it'll be. I got the right numbers. For 4 years, you've had the wrong numbers. Right. Okay. I got to go in 5 minutes. I'm going to give final thoughts in the chat. He was the governor of California as well. John Burnett. Who was? Ronald Reagan, was he? Oh yeah, the California governor. Oh yeah, the governor of California was Arnold Schwarzenegger, wasn't it? Arnold Schwarzenegger. Can you give a list? Can you give a list for 10x? Can we give a list? Yeah, join Sensei on Sunday. There's loads of crypto coins that do 10x. Binky Bonk, Fart Coin. There's forget 10x, 100x. All right? Jerry and I are blessed to be part of the family, the Lucas Aid family. We love to have you here, Jerry and Elba. How is Jerry, by the way? Excuse the domestic, everyone. Yeah. Yeah, I like how Dynamite is apologising to the chat audience around the world. Don't apologise on my behalf, all right? If I want to apologise, I'll apologise.
MSK donated £5 through a super chat.
No.
This is for Sensei for the mathematical accuracy.
No, you don't get that.
Ha, ha, ha.
This is my show. You want to give Sensei a super chat? Join in Sunday. Sunday, Sensei gets money. He gets no money for calling in on his show, right? This is my money. It's my show. I earn money on my show. That goes into my pocket, MSK.
It's the start of the coup.
Is that what it is? It's the beginning, isn't it? It's the beginning of the end. Ronald Reagan was the governor. Oh, was he? I didn't know that. Ronald Reagan was the governor of California. Okay. Software companies will be the fastest to recover. That is very, very true. Very, very true. A 30% retrace for VU is a $410 target. That's a retrace to the 200 daily average on the weekly chart. Spire's done it 8 times since 1950s. Certainly hope it doesn't do that, but it wouldn't do it overnight. And as long as it does it in another 3 weeks when I can get paid and buy on the way down, that's okay. Don't want it to do it tomorrow. Don't want that. Don't want that to happen. Don't forget your dinner. Yeah. Okay. Final thoughts. My lovely wife Leah will be in a minute feeding my dinner to the dog, and we don't even have a dog. But if we did, that's what she'd be doing. So, final thoughts. Saab, give me your final thoughts, Saab. Oops.
So everybody remember full FSD, full self-driving is starting in June in Austin, Texas. So if you guys like what Elon Musk is doing and pulling up all the roots and the bad stuff in our gardens and saving us money, then invest a little bit in Tesla before June, because FSD's going up. FSD's happening in June.
Hang on, what's this? Who's he?
What's going on
Representative
here?
from Tesla. We don't have people coming on doing stuff like that. What's going on here? Invest in Tesla. You'll never look back. You'll become a millionaire.
Pay for advertisement on the channel.
Unbelievable.
Hold on a minute. You need a platform to invest in Tesla. So everyone, please just go to Robinhood.
This is blatant advertisement. Anybody else got anything to sell? Sensei, you got anything you want to plug? Sell anything? What do you want to say, Sensei?
Tesla mug coming out this weekend.
Yes, Tesla mugs. And we're not giving them away this time, you sod. Last time we gave all the bloody mugs away. Unbelievable. People thought, right, this is what happened. I had messages, I had phone calls, right? People said to, I didn't literally have phone calls. I'm making that bit up, right? Sometimes I make that up, right? Someone phoned me. No, they didn't. No. Someone phoned me up. Just go with it, right? And said, Martyn, 50% you gave off on the mugs the other day. That means you make 50% at least. No, it doesn't. What happened was Sensei decided to do a 50%. Like, he just made it up. It sounded good. So he makes stuff up as well. 50%. It ended up, we actually lost money on it. And I went, so how much money did we lose? He went, it's only about $1, I think. So, okay, he lost $1. Well, I still don't agree with that. But since when did we lose money? And I said, whoa. What happens about the postage, the mailing it out? Oh, yeah, I forgot that.
I forget about that.
You mean we got to pay the postage as well as lose? Yeah. But sometimes you got to give a little bit back. You had 20,000 people watching. I thought it'd be nice. What do you mean you thought it'd be nice? That's what Sensei does. So let me tell you, all right? Anyway, there's no free mugs. From now on, I'm hiking the prices up to make back for the losses, all right? Sensei, $10 more on every mug you sell now for the next 6 months. Alex, final thoughts, mate. I've got to pay off this margin, mate. I'll find a way. Don't worry. You know, I said I'd never put the price of membership up. It's going up tonight. $1 per person. It's going up tonight. Alex, what's going on?
It's all right. I'm already a gold member, so okay.
No, gold members included. Everyone's going up 5% as of tonight. Inflation. Sod it.
Even the platinum.
Yes, even the platinum. That's about $100 a month extra.
Well, as a final thought, I'd say
it would actually be $25 more.
The what?
If it's 5% increase on 500.
Look, it doesn't matter. I don't need the exact. We're not trading it. I'm just making the point. Look, if you want the accurate, I tell you what, he's annoying me today. I'm not even going to give you final thoughts now, Sensei. There's no final thoughts for you. You've blown it. That's it. Final thoughts scrapped. Alex, give me a final thought. I've got to get off. Quick, hurry up.
I'd say just a lot of subs comment that he said about staying positive. We need to get paid, me and Martyn, end of the next month, so we can be positive, so we can buy more the dips. That's how you.
Alex, me and you will save the S&P stock market. We will. We'll keep buying. Everyone else can sell. Me and Alex will work as hard as we can and we'll buy every bloody share there is. James, give me your final thoughts, non-member, sneaking in. Hang on. Wait for Kent Paranormal.
Kent Paranormal and Herbex donated £2 through a super chat. Tariffs on mugs.
That's it. Kent Paranormal. That's it. Every single mug that leaves this studio, wherever it goes in the world, I'm going to put tariffs on everyone. So Leah is the only person who can buy a mug that stays inside this studio. Everybody else, there's a $2 tariff on mugs. I've got some margin to pay off. Final thoughts from you, James?
First of all, Lucas, I appreciate you letting me play in the sandbox today with you guys. I really do, and then I'll get into that. Sign up for the membership.
I'll be checking now.
Out there.
I'll be checking.
I know you will,
yeah.
Or else you're not going to let me play in the sandbox.
No.
Second of all, I just for everyone out there, just keep your head on a swivel, and keep your heads on a swivel and make the right choices or your choices.
Like it. Go on then, Sensei. Give me your final thoughts.
Final thoughts. Well, it's been a day where there's a lot of fear in the market. Do your research. Have your long-term plan. For some reason I'm frozen, but hopefully you can still hear me.
Yep, still here. Yep.
No. just be careful. Whoever you support, whether you support Trump, Biden, whoever you support, always don't take what they say as face value. Don't follow anyone. Don't join a cult. Don't take anything as face value. There's things going on behind the scenes. These people are probably not even calling the shots. There's probably bigger powers in play behind the scenes. We never know what's going on. So these tariffs came in place long term, then they weren't long term, then they were just bargaining chips. Now they're not bargaining chips. Now they've to put interest rates down. We don't know what they're all about. Don't take it as face value, but have your long term plan. We don't know if we're in a bear market. We don't know if we're in a bull market. Be prepared for every single different scenario, and join me on Sunday where we'll be giving away free mugs.
My final thought is be careful who your friends are. If you think after 2 years you built a good relationship before you let them on the show, just go another 2 years. If people start calling in after you got hacked and you lost your Wi-Fi and then it came back up again, assume they had something to do with it and don't let them in because they will ruin the conversation. Don't mention numbers with Sensei around because he'll make you look stupid. He'll go, hang on a minute, it's not really a 5X, it's a 4X, smart ass. All right, pick your friends wisely. So on that note, in the chat, right at the top, click on that. It will take you through to the extra channel where Sensei is literally, as we speak, trying to sell XRP hoodies. Unbelievable, right? And we're not giving them away either. We're charging more. There's now a tariff on it. Go and check that out. It'll take you there. Oh my God, he's got one on. We're not giving those away, right, Sensei? I'm just checking. These are loads of profit on these, like double normal, right? If you notice the prices have gone up, they have. We've just tariffed it. We've tariffed it, all right? You've been tariffed, okay? So that's it from me. So right at the top, you click on the link. It takes you to extra. Carry on this conversation. It's this good every week. Please join in again. And for those of you who don't click on the link, it'll do it automatically. So before I press the magic button, everybody all together after me, I need to unmute Saab. I unmute. I've never done it before. Ladies and gentlemen, until next time,
take care.
See you later.
And each other.
Rubbish. Bye-bye.